What's up, y'all? Today I'm gonna be talking about how I learned what my purpose and gifts from God were. My purpose and my gifts, y'all. So I'm making this video because I'm trying to start talking more about my experiences and what I learned. Because I make a lot of videos just teaching about things, right? And I'm sure y'all want to learn stuff about me as well. And I pray and I hope that me expressing myself and telling y'all about me will help y'all learn a little bit more about yourselves and get closer to God as well. So how I learned what my purpose and gifts from God were. Now, I ain't writing none of this down, so I'm gonna just try to let it go, let it flow, let the spirit lead me as I talk about this. So actually, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of my life, right? And then we're gonna come back to when I started to learn these things about this. When I actually started to learn what my gifts and purpose were. Matter of fact, I remember back in 2015, I was in a relationship with this young lady that I actually talked about in my testimony videos or whatever, but she was the good one. She was good, had a good heart. We just couldn't be with each other because I couldn't be myself. I couldn't talk about God as much as I talk about God, right? Like I couldn't be extremely passionate in this gift actually that I have from God. One of my gifts that I learned was teaching, right? And discernment, but I'm always learning. I'm always trying to understand people. I'm always trying to help people. As y'all see, I make these videos, but in this relationship, I can't remember exactly what happened that day, but I remember I was trying to help her with something, and I guess she didn't like it or whatever it was. It made her feel away, and she got sad and she got mad, but I think she still realized for some reason that it was a gift, because I ended up getting sad and mad or whatever. Not even mad, my fault. I ended up getting sad because she was sad, and I was sad because I understood, this is just me. It's like I can't even control this thing. And I remember her telling me, she was the first person that said it. She said, it's because it's a gift. And I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I started to tear up because in the past, people would get mad at me about how I was being. Like they would not like it. A lot of people loved it, right? A lot of people loved it, but a lot of people did not like it. And I remember when she said that, I was like, what? I was like, that's crazy, because so many other people saw this as a bad thing. But you see it as a good thing, even though it causes you to feel away sometimes. And she was like, yes, it's a gift. She was the first person to tell me that was a gift. So I guess that started to help me look back at my life with my past relationship with my daughter's mom to when I was a kid, right? I'm thinking about how I used to be, because in my life growing up, I noticed so many people used to come to me as a child. When I was in middle school and when I was in high school, I can't remember back in elementary, but I'm sure I was doing this in elementary too. But as a child in middle school, all my friends that would have issues in their relationships, in their family issues or friends, anything that happened, my friends would call me up, because we didn't have cell phones back then. We just had the regular telephone, I forgot what it's called, but a regular telephone to join on the wall or whatever it was, or a cordless phone, right? We had the cordless phones, and they would call me up and they would tell me what's going on in their life or in their relationships. Even though we was young, they would tell me what's going on in their life and their relationships. They would tell me about how their mom made them mad, or how their brother made them mad, or how they was having issues with their friends, or even if they was beefing with somebody. They would always call me, and I would always try to help them. Like literally always try to help them, like try to see what's going on, why it happened, where it came from. I would ask them questions like, how were you when this situation happened? I wasn't just a person that was like, oh, they should have never did that. Why you gonna let them do that to you? Or just tell them bad things about themselves. I was always the one trying to figure out, trying to analyze this situation to help them so that they could come together. And I don't know, I just been like this all my life. And this consistently kept happening throughout my life, in relationships, with my family, with my friends, with my, you know what I'm saying? Everybody would come to me. And I never looked at it like that. I just thought I was being a friend. But when I came into that situation or my relationship, she helped me see it a little bit more. Now let's go back again. I remember when me and my daughter's mom broke up. This is when I first started getting close to God. I remember jumping into books, and one of the main books I jumped into was The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I jumped into that book. I started to learn about quality time, which is my main love language, right? And there's 2 parts to that, which is activities and focused attention. If you read the book, I know a lot of y'all just be taking the quiz, but read that book. That book talked about quality time, and it said it's 2 parts, right? I learned about acts of service. I learned about physical touch. I learned about, what's the other ones? Words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, gifts. I think that's all of them, right? But anyway, I learned about those things, and I was like studying the mess out this book, trying to understand my life. And matter of fact, that book was a gift. Somebody just gave me that book because I told them me and my daughter's mom had broke up. I went to work, told them me and my daughter's mom broke up. They gave me the book the next day. I started to read that book so hard, and I started to learn so much about myself. It made me want to learn so much about her and so much about the situation that I started to learn more about me. Not to mention my friend also. One of my friends also sent me a book that I never asked for. It was a gift. They sent me a book, and this book was called The Purpose-Driven Life. And I know a lot of y'all probably heard about that. It's a very popular book by Rick Warren. They sent me that book, and that book changed my life, right? Now, that book, I did get that book before I was in that relationship when my ex-girlfriend told me that I had a gift. But I will say I did stop reading that book. So I got that book as a gift. I was reading that book. I was learning a little bit, but I won't pay no attention. And after me and the last girlfriend, I mean, not the last girlfriend, but the one that I'm speaking about, the one who told me about the gift, broke up because I told you we couldn't be together because I couldn't be myself. I couldn't walk in God or be how I was in my passion with God, with my gifts, and be with her. So I had to end that, or else I would be pulled away from God, right? So that's the reason, because I know y'all over there like, why that happened? Anyway, after we broke up with that situation, I picked the book back up. And that's when I started to read that book. And as I'm reading that book, because I had started to ask God, like, what's my purpose? What is my purpose? I don't know why I started asking that. I think it came from somewhere. It had to come from somewhere. But I'm asking God, I'm praying to God, Lord, what is my purpose? What is my purpose, God? And I'm learning in this book so much about myself, right? Because the book is, why did God, what is it? The Purpose-Driven Life, what on earth am I here for? I think that's the name of the other book. I got the book upstairs, but I can't remember that title. But and the book is telling me so many things about what I just told y'all. One of the things were, throughout your life, people will come to you about the same things over and over and over, right? They would consistently come to you about the same things. So let's say you know how to write. You're a writer, and people can see that, but you don't know. And they're like, oh, I love your handwriting. Or, oh, you write so well. Or, oh, I love that paragraph that you wrote, or that book. And I see that you're always writing. They consistently keep saying that, like, hey, can you write my essay? Just imagine someone, you growing up, and people keep coming to you like, yo, can you help me write my essay? Yo, can you write this for me? Can you do this for me because you do it so well? You might not know it, but they know it. They see that you are that way. Here's another thing. Someone can have the gift of understanding, right? Someone who is extremely merciful. There's a gift called mercy, right? And I always bring this up because I know a lot of women that have this gift, mercy. And I'll be like, yo, you're so merciful, because they understand people so much, or they have this emotional attachment to this person where they feel everything that person feels, and they want to help that person instantly, right? They easily just feel what they feel and just want to grab and help them in whatever way that they can. And they have a deep passion for that. Matter of fact, it might also cause them to be emotionally attached in relationships and not want to give up when they're being mistreated, right? And that's how I can see that gift. But people consistently see that from them. People consistently go to them for comfort, for love. And y'all might say, well, that's an issue. Yeah, it may be a weakness, but it's a strength that God has given us, right? That is a gift of mercy. So this person may have been like that their entire lives and don't even know. That's a gift, right? You understand? So I started to learn these things in the book. It's telling me this stuff about myself that has always been there, right? Even talking about how people may not like it. Notice I was talking about that earlier, right? That's another way I learned my gift, because again, this is the purpose-driven life. It's talking to me about my purpose, but I believe you can see your purpose through how God created you, right? Obviously, it's how God created you and what he created you for. So your gifts show you what God has put in you that you do effortlessly, right? That's what I learned. Because me always helping people, people always coming to me, and me having a desire. Y'all see how I make these videos? And I hope y'all know I'm not boasting. I'm just trying to share with y'all my life in hopes that it'll help y'all as well. But y'all see how I make these videos? I don't think y'all understand how I love doing this. Like I love learning and growing and then giving it to other people. Like I love it. One of my other gifts that I notice is knowledge, because I love learning. For some reason, when I learn something, my mind immediately goes to give it to somebody else so it can help them. Because I remember growing up, I would get mad at people when stuff happened and then nobody told me anything, and I found out that they knew how to handle it and they never told me. I would get mad. And I also felt appreciative when they did tell me, but I would also get mad sometimes because I'd be like, yo, you just watched me do this? You watched me make a fool of myself and you wouldn't tell me? Notice how I'm saying you wouldn't tell me, right? Because I had such a passion of knowing, which is the beginning of knowledge, right? You want to know. I want to learn. I want to grow so I don't keep slipping and falling. Like I love knowledge, y'all. Notice how I'm saying this. Notice the passion. That's how I know it's a gift. I loved knowledge and I still love it. And I love it so much that whatever I get, I want to give to someone else, because I don't want other people to be hurt, or I don't want other people to be foolish and make stupid decisions before they make the decision. I want to help them, kind of like how Jesus gave us the truth before the devil came, or so that we would have this knowledge and wisdom before the next situation happened. That's how much I love knowledge, right? And obviously me giving it is a part of teaching. So I started to learn that. I started to learn that in my life. That consistently kept happening, and I have this strong passion, and some people don't like it. Now, I want y'all to understand something. I learned from getting closer to God that some people won't like it. Example, just like people won't like Jesus's truth, God's truth. They don't like it. That don't mean it's wrong. That don't mean that we stop and give up, because I know a lot of us want to give up. Like we are this way. Somebody might say, oh, you're clingy, or you're obsessive, or you're like this, oh my God. And then you over there believing everything that they said just because they said that. That's something that the world told you. You know what I realized? People said this nonsense stuff to me too. But I started to go to God and ask him about it. God, they saying this about me. Is that true? God, what do you think about this thing? I started to learn about the bad things that people were saying about me. I started to learn about the bad things that people were saying about me, y'all. Literally, like I'm literally telling y'all my life, man. I started to learn about the bad things, right? I started to be easy with those people, or obviously I probably would get mad at them even more too, because I want to help you. Like that's all I ever want to do. Like, yo, let me help you, bro. I learned this thing. I figured it out. Matter of fact, I probably went through it, and I don't want you to go through it. Or I learned this because I actually studied it, and then I analyzed it, then I put it to the test, and I found out. You know what I'm saying? The same thing I do with God. Like, let me help you, bro. Let me help you, sis. Like, I love you. I care about you. But some people didn't want that. I was getting on their nerves. But then some people loved it, like I told you, because people would always come to me. I would even have my peoples telling me, like, yo, I would be like, yo, you know I'm going to tell you the truth, and you know it's going to hurt a little bit, because I started to realize sometimes it hurt people. And they would be like, yeah, I know. They said, I'm calling you, literally verbatim, I'm calling you because I know you're going to keep it real with me. I'm calling you because I know you're going to tell me the truth, and I know you're going to try to figure it out, and I know that you're not going to be biased. Literally telling me that. They was like, yo, if I go to my family, if I go to my mom, my brother, my sister, they just going to tell me based on what they believe or because of how they feel and because they want to protect me, but you going to help me because you're going to look outside of me, not just tell me what I want to hear or just because of how I feel. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do, right? And that's how I am. But again, like I told y'all, I learned that some people did not like that. And what I learned is that the devil, the enemy, who prowls like a lion, right? Who prowls, looking for somebody to devour. He does not want us to know our gifts, y'all. How do I know this? He don't even want you to know your gift from a child. Why you think Pharaoh went and tried to kill all the babies, right? What was it? I think it was another king who went and tried to kill all the babies. Why was he trying to kill all the babies? So that they wouldn't grow up to who they were supposed to be, right? They said that somebody would be the king of the Jews. Pharaoh trying to get rid of all the babies. Why? Because he knew and heard who they were supposed to be, knew what was inside of them. You think the enemy don't know that? The enemy knows God. So he knows what's inside of you when you were born. He knows that God has blessed you to be an answer to a problem on this earth. He knows that God has placed gifts inside of you. So how do I cut that off? I use people, right? I use people who follow me. He uses people who follow him that believe lies, that don't know themselves, that are in trauma, that are in the darkness, who can't see, and who can't hear, that are blind to God's truth and that are blind to themselves, right? Because if they're blind and they can't hear, then guess what? When you come around them, they won't hear what you're saying. They won't see who you are. So they'll think you're lying and they'll treat you away because you're making them feel bad. The same thing that happened to Jesus. And the more you make them feel bad, the more you feel worse about yourself, thinking that what you're doing is wrong. Why you think the enemy made Adam and Eve feel like they was naked? Why you think he told them a lie and they believed it? It's the world, right? The world will lie to you. The enemy, the serpent in front of that tree, and that tree is a representation of the world. Will you believe it? Or will you go to God? Because what if Adam and Eve would have waited a second after they heard that lie and went back to God? God, is this true? God, I remember you said this. Can you please remind me? Can you please show me? I'm going to wait. But they didn't wait. They heard it and they believed it. You understand what I'm saying? And then they hid and then they told God they felt like they was naked. And God said, who told you that? He never told them that. So let me find out what he said, because he the one who created me. I want to know what he says. I want to know who he is. So I learned my gifts that way, and I learned my purpose, right? My purpose is through my gifts that I've learned. Now, some people, some theologians and all of that might say different things based on the knowledge and wisdom. Y'all know I'm basically becoming a theologian and all of that, right? I know I'm in my PhD program. Anyway, you know what? Being a theologian is really just trying to understand the scripture more, trying to understand God more. So all of us are true theologians if you're really trying to understand and analyze that scripture for a deeper, true understanding of the word. I hope y'all understand that. If y'all don't believe me, look it up, right? But anyway, I learned my purpose through that, right? God has blessed me with this, and I did not know. Right? Even my family, some of my family members got mad at me about this because I understand that they can't see. Jesus said your own enemy would be in your home, your family. That means those who are close to you, your neighbor, because they can't see. He said he came to divide, right? Father and son, mother and daughter, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, right? And son-in-law and father-in-law and all of that. He said he came to divide the home. That was not out of evil. It was to divide spirit from flesh. It was so that you could see. It's so that you can understand who he is and who he's not, and who's around you and who's not, so that you can see who to follow and who not to follow. You understand what I'm saying? So my purpose and your purpose, God created us for a reason. And he wants you to see your purpose. He wants me to know my purpose. I've learned my purpose. I'm here for a reason. I was put on this earth to help, right? To open eyes, to be a light, literally, because one of my main gifts is knowledge. One of my other main gifts is discernment, right? A seer. One of my other main gifts, and y'all might say, what was a discern? No, gift of discerning of spirits. I can see this. I can literally investigate and figure out your spirit a mile away, right? Again, I'm in psychology. That means you are discerning. You are an investigator. I've learned that I am a spiritual investigator. This is why I'm so observant. I study people. Literally, I study, and you will never find out or figure out if I'm even doing it. I master it. I want to master it. Literally. And I have this deep desire inside of me to learn people, to learn the spirit, to learn what's evil and what's good, to recognize it, even from the smallest thing, from body language, from eye movement, from your ears, from little words, from a smile on your face, even though you got evil in your heart. I want to recognize it when other people can't recognize it so that I can help you. I want to recognize myself. I want to know me, and I want to help other people know them. That is a part of my gift. This is why I make these videos the way that I make them. This is why a lot of psychology, a lot of analyzing, a lot of seeing and understanding is involved in my videos. I've learned this, but I've always been like this. What have you learned? Who are you? What are your gifts? That's exactly what God wants you to see. Right? Again, one of my gifts is knowledge. Top 3 gifts: knowledge, discernment, teaching. If you look at yourself and look at the things that you do effortlessly every single day, I guarantee the thing that you do every single day, unconsciously, subconsciously, without effort, and you love this thing and you may not even recognize that you love it. It's something you do every day. People come to you all the time, something that you do all the time, and it may not be your job. You understand what I'm saying? It may not be your job. It may you just be so caring, so understanding. You be having being a giver, just always giving to people. Why do you have this strong desire to give? Why do you have this strong desire to teach? Why do you have this strong desire to encourage people and you do it effortlessly? That's a gift. But my purpose is because I'm here. God has blessed me with these gifts so that I can be here to provide this thing for others. You get what I'm saying? My purpose on earth, I'm here to answer. I'm here to help people see what is hard for them to see in the kingdom of God and in the world, to show them who God is, to truly understand God, to truly understand. Notice I said understand, not just go to church, not just read the Bible, but to literally walk this thing out and show other people, right? There's different parts of the body, right? Arm, legs, head, eyes, all of that. I feel like I am the eyes. I love the mind. I consistently think about how someone thinks. I consistently want someone to have peace. I consistently want to clear someone's mind. I consistently want people to see the truth and to understand themselves and understand others. I want people to recognize what is hard to recognize. I don't know why I got this. I don't know why I'm like this. But God blessed me to be like this. And I do this, when I tell y'all, I do this every single day. And before I realized it, I did it every day. Because I also realized that when I read the book, I do it every single day. Not a day go by. Not one day go by without me doing any of this. I can't stop. I don't know why I can't stop. Now, I'm not the extremely merciful person because that's not high in my gifts. That's not me. And I also don't think teaching and all of that goes hand in hand with mercy, because in order for me to be merciful, I can't see past emotion. A lot of merciful people see through emotion, right? For me to be a teacher and a discerner, I got to see past how someone feels. I have to see past how I feel. I want to see the truth, investigate this so I can pull it out no matter how someone feels. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Look, This is how I figured out my gifts and my purpose, y'all. It's because I looked back at my life and I recognized everything that I was doing unconsciously, on the regular, without a thought. And I loved to do it. Notice I said love. Nobody taught me how to do this. Nobody pulled me into it. Nobody said, Rudy, you should do this. It's just something that I did. And I know it also came from my life. It's kind of like I was conditioned because of how my life was, right? Because certain things like my family or someone in my family not wanting to communicate, or someone in my family having an issue with another family member, or a divorce. And it caused me to want to fix that situation. It caused me to want to delve and dive into it to learn it. How can I help this person? Okay, they didn't see this. How can I help this not happen? Right? It's for some reason it was there. And again, like I told y'all, some people would get upset about it, but for some reason I couldn't stop. It's no way possible on this earth that I'm doing things unconsciously where I cannot stop. I can't stop. And this ain't about an emotional reaction. You understand what I'm saying? This is about something that might take a skill to do. That's hard for others to do. Everybody ain't this way. That's what makes it a gift. I can help in this area. Somebody who's merciful might have an issue with seeing something because they're so merciful. Let me help them. But me, I might have an issue being merciful in this situation. Let me go to them for it. God made them like that. And I don't even have to cry to be like that. God gave me mercy. It's just that this person has the gift of mercy. That means they do it effortlessly. They was made like this. Me, I got to practice that part. I got to work on it, but I need them for that. But me, on the other hand, I'm a discerner. I'm a seeker of knowledge. I'm a teacher. That person may not want to speak out and tell anything or break something down and analyze it and figure it out and put the pieces together and put the parts together and connect the dots. But me, I love it. I love doing this. This is how I know God created me like this. What has God created you for? What is it that you do unconsciously? What is it that other people may have been mad at you about that you actually love doing and you love being like that? I guarantee that is a part of your gifts and that is a part of your purpose. All right? I know I got passionate in this video, man, but it's the truth, man. I may not have said everything the way that I needed to say it, but I allowed the Spirit to lead me. I hope this helps y'all, man. This is how I figured out how I am. This is how I figured out how God created me. And this is why I'm not going to stop no matter what. Until I'm dead and gone, I'm not going to stop. I hope I even become more like this so I can help God's people in whatever which way he want me to, because I love this and I love him and I love y'all. All right? I love y'all, man. I'm glad y'all listening. I hope y'all took something from this. I hope this blesses y'all. And I'm going to get it y'all when I get it y'all.